The topic of my thesis concerned the influence of English in Italian, how English became lingua franca, and related phenomena such as Inglese and Spanglish. Italian is a Romance language derived from Latin. The influence of Latin on the formation of Italian is fundamental in linguistic history. For centuries, in fact, Latin has been the lexical reservoir to create new words. At the time of Italy's political unification, the percentage of Italian speakers was 2.5%. Among the processes that have contributed to Italianization, we find industrialization, compulsory military leverage, compulsory education, internal migration from south to north, and mass media such as cinema, radio, and television. Italy today is ranked in the 21st place among the languages by number of speakers. Besides being the official language of Italy, it is also one of the official languages of the European Union, San Marino, Italian Switzerland, and Sovereign Military Order of Malta. Inglese is the Italian language used in certain contexts and environments, characterized by frequent and arbitrary recurrence to English terms and phrases. From the years 2000 to today, the numbers of English words in Italian has increased by 773%. English terms are increasingly taking the upper hand of Italian. The new Dictionary of Italian Devoto Oili has introduced a section with some Anglicism we could avoid. This is how meetings take place of incontro, coach or trainer of allenatore, summary or abstract of riassunto, and badge of tesserino. Very important is the petition launched by Anna Maria Testa in February 2015, called Dillo in Italiano. From the pages of the Internazionale, an Italian journal, the journalist explains the importance of preserving the Italian historical and cultural heritage, supplanted by the excessive use of Anglicism. There are phenomena similar to Inglese also in other languages, the so-called Spanglish, a fusion between Spanish and English, or Franglais, fusion between French and English. Spanglish is a mixture of English and Spanish. Spanglish was born in the United States in areas with strong Hispanic presence, in areas therefore characterized by bilingualism. One of the greatest promoters of this phenomenon is the Mexican philologist Ilan Stavans, who translated Don Quixote into these hybrid idioms. Spanglish is a much deeper and more complex phenomena than Inglese. The most obvious difference between Spanglish and Inglese is that there is no bilingualism in the case of Italians. Bilingualism is an important factor because the Spanglish speaker is usually bilingual or has an advanced level of English. People who use Inglese do not know very well English, but they use foreign words just because it's fashionable. Spanglish developed after the sign of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo about 150 years ago. This phenomenon also expanded after the Second World War with the massive migration of Mexicans to the United States. The reason why people keep talking Spanglish is intuitive and intimate. For many, it's not only the language which way they grew up, but is also a source of pride for the Latin identity, reminding the speakers that they are fiercely part of a particular community. What is English? It is a native language of the United Kingdom. Today, it is the main language of the United Kingdom, United States of America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and other 50 countries. It is probably the most spoken language on the planet, considering the number of non-native and native speakers. English and Italian have been in contact since the 13th century, but the linguistics exchange become fruitful after the Second World War. In fact, after the Second World War, Italy emerged from fascism and from the period of linguistic purism. During this period, in fact, the linguistic policy was to abolish any foreign word in order to protect the Italian language. Sport was replaced by ludo or gioco, bar by qui si beve, and cocktail by polibibita. The United States began to be seen as a symbol of freedom, promoters of a lifestyle that fascinated the working class and the young. What Puccini calls Americanizzazione of Italy begins in these years. Due to the massive emigrations of Italians to the United States, looking for the American dream. In the most recent wave of loans, the field in which Italian has been influenced by English are technology, marketing, sport, and politics. Nowadays, the influence of English on the Italian language has not decreased. On the contrary, it seems to be getting stronger and stronger. In conclusion, we can say that there are many reasons for which English is expanding in the Italian language. Among the main reasons, we find the fact that it is considered a fashionable language, its brevity, and globalization. As we said, one of the characteristics of English it is brevity. Sometimes, however, this is created for the erroneous use that Italian speakers do. In Italian, the term golf is very often used instead of maglione, sweater, but golf in English means only the sport, or we use words that have no meaning in English, believing they have, such as slip, beauty case, autostop, footing, or spot. Sometimes, instead, people use English because it is a fashionable language and not so much for its brevity. The use of terms such as mission instead of missione, vision instead of visione, competitor instead of rivale, or misunderstanding instead of equivoco certainly does not save time, but give to people who use this word an aura of superiority, knowledge, and openness. Anglicism started to be used after the Second World War. Initially, the abuse of English leads to parodies such as Tu vuoi fare l'americano by Renato Carosone or Un americano a Roma by Alberto Sordi. Today, English in Italy is imposed by the political class, by journalists and by businessmen. The influence is too strong to be content and to refuse to use Anglicism. What we can hope is a better knowledge of English to understand how and when use it.